It was early winter, 1978, when I decided to detox myself of alcohol. You see, working bar at a young age, you tend to drink too much, or at least I did anyway. So I needed to dry out. I quit my first job as a bartender, moved back home with my folks, and went through all those wonderful withdrawal symptoms. Let me tell you, it was no picnic. I think the worst thing was the insomnia and the jitters. Ooh, you ever have the jitters? Ooh, you don't want those, man. It was a bidding war I put myself through, but I prevailed and went back to work. Why I chose to go back to the bar, I'll never know. Jeez. Like I said, it was early winter 1978. I was on the wagon now and feeling much better, raring to go. I got a job at a country inn called the Trails End Hotel. It was a landmark inn dating way back to the mid-1800s, with a main floor dining area that could hold as many as 200 people. Home-style German cooking was what the place was all about. Meaty German entrees like stuffed cabbage rolls and hand-breaded pork schnitzel. Sauerkraut and slow-roasted pigtails were just a carnivore's delight. I like the apple strudel myself. Sugared and spiced fresh apples, raisins, and sliced almonds rolled in a crisp, handmade flaky strudel dough, served with whipped cream. Ah, yum! I could go for some right now. Anyway, at the time, the bar was owned by an older married couple named Dale and Barb. Dale was a funny character, an upbeat fellow that liked his sauce. Barb, on the other hand, seemed to be much more serious and moody when she drank. Now, the bar had an interesting setup. There was an automatic pour system in place that would dispense a perfect ounce of liquor every time. One of the first things I had to do when I started my shift was to check the dispenser and make sure there were 6 bottles of vodka, 6 bottles of rye, 6 bottles of rum, 6 bottles of gin, and of course 6 bottles of scotch on the line. Now here's the funny part. The scotch button at the bar always seemed to pour a healthy double. At first, I thought it wasn't working properly until I realized that scotch and soda was Dale's drink. Dale was a musician, a sax player, a front man for a swing band that would play the Trails End every Saturday night. So when I think about it, Dale's real interest in the hotel wasn't to make money selling food and drink. It was to make a place for his dance band to play. Now, like I said, Dale was a funny character. He was also a volunteer firefighter. When the sirens went off across the street, and they did on occasion, he'd be blowing a killer sax solo, and the siren would go off, and he'd just put down his sax and leave. I guess fires were a big deal to him because back in 1968, a fire burnt down the original hotel that he ran on the same property. Dale and I got to know each other quite well. But when it came down to music, there was always a point of contention. Arguing about music until one time I pissed him off so much, he told me I didn't know my ass from a hole in the ground. I admit I was cocky back then, but that didn't give him the right to disrespect my opinions. That was just one of the reasons why my stay at the Trails End Hotel was a short one. The other reason? The girls. Mind you, the girls were probably why I stayed working there as long as I did. You see, the front of the house and the back of the house were all made up of women. Unbelievable. Here I am in my early 20s, single, and always looking to have some fun. Yeah. At the far end of the main room of the hotel was a magnificent stone fireplace. I used to bring in a load of wood as part of my closing duties and stock the wood pile for the next day. I would always bring in extra wood so I could light a fire after my shift. You see, making the trek home always took me a while. It was cold outside and about an hour's drive on slippery roads in the early morning. That's when I fell off the wagon. It was much easier to pour a couple drinks and cozy up to a nice fire with one of the girls who was working late. A romantic setting indeed. Out the window, you could see the snow gently falling on our cars. The last 2 cars in the parking lot. Inside, all warm and toasty. Oh, We'd watch the silhouettes of our contoured bodies flickering on the ceiling above us. It was easy to let yourself go, lying in front of a crackling fire with a cocktail in one hand and your arms wrapped around a beautiful girl. Why would I want to go home? It might have been the heat of the burning embers or maybe the glow infused from the drink, but I was surprised and somewhat flattered when I received not one, but 2 proposals of marriage from different women on different occasions. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in front of that fire. Oh my God. But they were women I barely knew. It was very tempting to accept their offers and say yes to wedding bells, but I was too young to get married, man. It wasn't long, maybe 6 months before I quit my job and left all those beauties behind me. I wasn't ready to commit to anything at that time in my life. And besides, the price of oil had just reached a new record of $24 a barrel, and it was a long drive home. Okay, let's make a drink. And you know what? I thought it might be appropriate that we make a honeymoon cocktail. That sounds right, doesn't it? Yeah, let's do it. First up is Calvados. Now you could use a good quality Applejack, but the apple flavor of Calvados tends to be much stronger and brighter than that of Applejack. It adds substantial complexity to the flavor profile of this drink. However, you know, it's a preference thing, like always. I like Calvados. 2 ounces. Yeah. Followed by a ½ an ounce of Benedictine. Cointreau is next. ½ an ounce. Yeah. And fresh lemon juice. ½ an ounce. That's about right. Right like that. Okay. Toss in some ice. Slap a lid on and shake it. Shake it like you're on a honeymoon. Oh, baby. I don't know, man. I don't know. I see ya. Hey, baby. How you doing, man? Oh, yeah. We're shaking. Okay. That's good, man. All right. Next thing we want to do is I've got this wonderful cocktail glass chilling with some ice. Get rid of that. And we're just going to double strain it out into this wonderful, wonderful glass here. Oh yeah. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. And why not garnish it with a little piece of apple in the shape of a moon? It's your honeymoon after all. Yeah. Oh yeah. And why not a little bit of lemon rind that you just wrap around your bar spoon and you get this wonderful little twist going on. We'll just wrap it around our little moon. Oh baby, how pretty is that? And effortless, yeah. All right, let's give it a try. Oh yeah, that's nice. It's smooth, it's balanced, totally urban. Remember, you don't have to be on your honeymoon to make a honeymoon cocktail. Cheers. That's really good. Arguing about music until one time I pissed him off so much he told me I didn't know my hole from an ass in the ground. No, I didn't mow my ass from a hole in the ground. Oh, there's a blooper. Holy shit, man. I'm on Patreon now. Yeah, for just a few dollars a month, you get access to things that nobody else sees. You get bloopers, you get podcasts, newsletters, and sneak peeks. You get a whole whack of stuff that you're gonna love. So become one of my booze hounds and help support the show. This stuff gets expensive, and every little bit goes back into the show. Thanks in advance. Thanks for watching, guys. And make sure you hit the subscribe button and have some apple strudel. Watch some other shows, man. Cheers.